Hello, everyone. I hope that you are having an amazing Monday. I wanted to just come on live because something was really on my heart to share today about something that I've been seeing in my clients and the women that I'm serving. And I know that this is going to help you to really shine your light, to calm your nervous system so that you can receive more. So if you are here live with me, let me know, give me some love, give me some hearts, let me know that you're here in the chat. This topic is about really owning your brilliance and unlocking that next level of you. And some of the things that can come up, some of the patterns that I've seen in a lot of my clients is almost, I want you to think of a light bulb, right? So maybe you get this new light bulb for your room or for your ring light, and it's shining really brightly and it's doing good for a while, but then it starts to burn out and the light gets dimmed a little bit. So that's what the phenomenon that I've been seeing, not only with my clients, but with myself, is that we get to this certain level where we're shining, we're feeling really good, and we're gaining that forward momentum in our business. But then something happens where maybe you hit that upper limit where it's like, oh, now it's too good. And it almost gets overwhelming where your nervous system feels really taxed, right? Or you're feeling like you're just so burnt out because there's so much stimulation coming and there's so much activity that unconsciously you start to dim your light. Maybe you stop posting consistently, or you have these sneaky self-sabotages that come in that allow you to kind of stay safe, but also you're dimming your light in the process. And so I'm going to talk about that today. I call it the dimming your light syndrome, where you have this period of expansion and you're growing and you're expanding your energy, you're connecting with more people, but then something happens in the unconscious mind which kind of pulls you back, where you're kind of staying safe and small because it's too much, right? So this is all about your energy and your energetic capacity. I want you to think of another analogy of even a bowl, right? Like say that you have a bowl of water and that is your capacity to receive money. Money is energy. But then maybe you expand even more and you have a tub full of, you can fill your tub with water. And that's the analogy of really allowing your nervous system to be able to receive those clients, those that amount of money that you're really wanting in your business, and that directly affects your next level. So all of this that I'm talking about today is designed to help you to allow yourself to receive and open that receiving capacity so that you can serve more people and draw in the income and impact that you're really craving. So if you're popping on live with me, I see some people coming on now. Let me know that you're here. I just kind of decided to do an impromptu Facebook Live. But I want to talk about some of the main things that I see in my business with the pharmacists that I work with, the empath entrepreneurs. One of the biggest blocks that I see directly related to this dimming your light syndrome is this fear of being seen. It's such a big block that can have you kind of going into this. I see it almost as like this inner tug of war where like you start to do some things and you're like, here I am. And then you're like, oh no. It's this expansion contraction pattern that I see so much, where you're expanding, you're doing some things in your business, and then something happens and you go to that default pattern. It could be the fear of being seen and you're like, oh no, it's not safe. It's not safe to shine my light. And so you might do these little sneaky self-sabotage things to not put your offer out, or maybe you get sick during your launch week, or something else happens where it can't quite fall into place for you to actually receive those clients, the money, the things that you need to keep your business going. So that is why I talk so much about in my Monetize Your Magic course, I teach you how to clear these self-sabotage blocks so that you don't have this phenomenon of like push, pull. It's just a smooth operating from flow, letting your body know, hey, it's safe to receive, it's safe for me to shine, it's safe for me to expand and to be seen. And one of the biggest things underneath that block, I see a block as this dark energy consciousness that really draws your energy down and keeps you in lower frequencies of guilt, shame, fear, and keeps you in those suffering loops of really feeling stuck in your business. Like you can't really pinpoint why, but you go to do that thing and then it's like, oh no, but that's not safe. So then this self-sabotage kicks in. So what a block is to me, it's this energy consciousness from past trauma. I'll just give you an example of something that I've been through that I hear a lot of clients talk about. You know, my dad always said to me, oh, don't brag. Like, don't be a bragger. You know, don't celebrate your accomplishments. Like, just go on to the next thing. And so that's in my programming to just keep going, and you're not allowed to celebrate yourself. So there's all of those little nuances that come into how you're showing up, those micro decisions that you make to show up on a Facebook Live or to kind of self-sabotage and maybe not do the thing that you know is going to move the needle for your business. So even if you have all of the strategies, you Google, you have a coach, whatever it is, these little sneaky things can come in. And so that's really why I help empath entrepreneurs to clear these blocks so that it is safe for you to shine. It is safe for you to move through a lot of the resistance that can come up when these blocks are coming through and showing up as self-sabotage. So blocks to me are the thoughts, the beliefs, the energy consciousness, the undigested emotions that are anchoring you to the past. So I'll just give you an example of what that could look like. The fear of being seen has a lot to do with shame, because think about it, shame loves to hide in the dark. So when you're in shame and holding on to shame from something in the past that maybe you did or something that you made meaning out of, like I always had this belief that like I'm just bad, I'm bad, right? Because I always got in trouble for expressing myself, for being me, because I was so sensitive, and that was like my story, that was my identity. And so it's peeling back these layers of like, okay, this was who I was, and this is the shame, and really allowing yourself to move through those feelings. It's not enough to just read about it or to be like, oh, I have shame. Sometimes it is doing that inner clearing work of feeling into that emotion of your inner child. And I just did a really powerful podcast episode about this, and I have a lot of meditations to support you in the Ascension collection. Also in my book, which actually I'm doing a special promotion this month about for the holidays. So if you haven't gotten a copy of my book, definitely check it out. I posted about it today as well, but I try to provide you with all of these different resources so that you know, hey, you're not alone, and you can move through some of these things too with support with inner child work or hypnosis. There's so many different ways to work with this to release a lot of these blocks that are dragging your energy down and keeping you in kind of this push-pull cycle, or this really, really bright and then shrinking back down. And that's something that can really stop you from moving forward, from being able to energetically receive the clients, the income that you're wanting. So this energetic work, I actually just got off a call. My coach is $1 million coach. She's been doing this work for 10 years. And I look at all of these high level coaches and they're talking about this stuff too. So it's at every next level. It's not just about the strategy. It's not just about, oh, I have to do this to get this outcome. And as pharmacists, we think in that very logical way of like, well, I'm going to do this because that's what my coach said. But it's so much deeper than that. It's the energy that you're bringing, the frequency that you're channeling to your audience, to your clients. What is the message that you're putting out there? How connected are you to your heart? Or are you up in your head like, how am I going to get these clients? Rather than really being grounded in who you are, feeling safe within your body first before going and projecting your marketing, your messaging out into the world. And so many people think like, oh, I just have to, get a marketing coach. Yes, but it's also coming from you, right? You connecting to source, you connecting to God, and being the channel, being the conduit for that soul aligned conversation that you're having with your clients. Because when you're putting content out into the world, it's your frequency. And so if there's all of these blocks and filters in the way of like, well, I can't show up this way because it's not safe, or so-and-so said a comment 10 years ago that really affected me, that's going to affect how you're showing up, to the level of power that you're showing up to impact your clients. And so this work is just so incredibly powerful. It is truly life-changing work to help you show up in your brilliance. It's not following someone else's strategy. It's not trying to contort yourself to get clients or to be a certain way. It's truly revealing your radiance. That was my first book, the title of my first book. And I realized that's truly my life purpose, is to help people to peel back these layers of the filters that we wear and the masks that we wear for social media to be acceptable, or to not trigger anybody because we're afraid that someone's going to hate us, or that if we shine too brightly, then it's not safe and people are going to judge us, or whatever the stories are. It's revealing that light that you are a bright light, and you're watching this video because you're meant to shine. And so many of us feel like it's not safe. And trust me, I get it. I've moved through so many layers. I'm continuing to move through layers of this resistance of going to the next level, right? Because this self-sabotage, when you get to a certain level, it's like, oh, I'm not used to it being that good. Like, something has to come in and sabotage this, but it doesn't have to. And so I'm going to teach you something quickly that is going to help you calm your nervous system so that it is safe for you to shine. And so this is called havening. It's something that I teach my clients inside of my Monetize Your Magic course. And it's so powerful to just feel the shift. It's such an immediate shift. It's actually a psychosensory therapy that you can use anywhere. You can either do it by stroking your arms, or your palms also have these receptors. I'll talk a little bit about the science behind it. Your face and so like if you're touching your face, that's also another way to calm your nervous system. And I'll show you a little bit about that. So havening is a psychosensory touch therapy that allows you to calm your nervous system and to release trauma. So whenever you have a trauma or a traumatic experience, your body gets hit with gamma waves. So gamma waves are these really high frequency waves that it gets into your brain, and your brain's like, oh my God, right? And you might even like have that, you hold your breath whenever you have that trauma. So these gamma waves hit your brain from the traumatic experience, and your body goes into shock. So you might experience any kind of, PTSD symptoms, or you might have emotional symptoms. Like, I know this might sound crazy, but I had PTSD from my first, shipping out my first package down to my retreat, because it actually got lost, and by the time that it actually got to the retreat, it got busted open. So I felt the effects of that when I went back to the post office to ship at UPS. I was like, oh my God, I actually feel tension in my shoulders. I feel like I'm gonna have a panic attack, because it was that real to me. So I went in the car and I did some havening. So what this havening does is it actually helps to reverse that gamma wave charge and turn it into a delta wave, which is really nice and slow and not as high of a frequency, so that you're not feeling overwhelmed, and it actually unglues that trauma from the receptor site. So it's very powerful. And so I'm just going to demonstrate what it looks like. There's no right or wrong to this. You can literally do just whatever feels good, but you can just rub any receptor site. So it could be, like I said, the delta receptors are in your palms, on your face, and also on the front of your arms. So literally you can just, I know it looks a little bit weird, but I promise it's so helpful. It's almost like a self-soothing technique that you can do to just kind of be like, hey, it's safe to shine. Like, I love doing this whenever I'm feeling stressed out, when I feel my body kind of holding tension that is being triggered by a past trauma, I just sit here and I'm like, okay, we're just going to take a deep breath, and you're calming yourself. It's a self-soothing technique. So instead of going to alcohol or going to food or going back to that pattern of like, oh, it's not safe to shine, I want you to do this. And I really encourage you, if there's any resistance to trying this, just say, okay, I'm willing to try. It's so powerful. Like, I even feel more calm right now just doing it. This is a really simple way. And if you're at work, if you're, a pharmacist, or you're at work and you don't want to do, the front of the arms, just go like this. I actually have a whole chapter about this in my book too. So what I'm doing for the month of November is I'm giving a holiday package. So if you order any copy of my book, whether it's for you or somebody that you love, I am going to give a crystal of your choice. There's 4 crystals, and then tea. So you can pick tea, and I'm going to do a special surprise in there too for the holidays. So you can feel free to check that out. But in the meantime, really try this. I want to hear how everybody, what your experience is with this. It's so just soothing. Like, you can even kind of do it, calming your nervous system through just touching these different delta receptors and doing kind of this stroking motion. It's very powerful. Because what happens when your nervous system is overwhelmed, you're like this, right? And your energy is very contracted and you're in fear and it's overwhelming. When you relax, when you kind of, that feels good. When you breathe, you allow yourself to be open. And what happens when you're open? You can receive. So this is just one aspect of this whole kind of increasing your energetic capacity to receive more, is helping to calm your nervous system. Something else that I do, obviously I'm going to give you a disclaimer since, we're in a group of pharmacists here, but I take ashwagandha, and I know my client Tiff had recommended this, but it's an adaptogen to help with stress. So think about the different ways that you can just, calm your nervous system. I use essential oils. I have crystals. I throw the kitchen sink at it, like whatever can help to keep me just really grounded. Like I said, I've mentioned this before, I take my social media off every day at 4. It's probably 4 o'clock right now. I'm going to be taking this off, taking Facebook off my phone. And I just found it to be really helpful, because as empaths, as people who are very energetically sensitive to all of the things coming at us every day, you have to find what works for you and for your energy. And so I feel like, setting boundaries. I know someone was asking about that today, setting boundaries with social media, or, eating properly, taking supplements, doing these physical things too, to just help calm your nervous system. Meditation, anything like that is going to help you know, okay, it's safe for me to shine. And guess what happens when you shine? Your soulmate clients can see you, they can find you. And so I really want to encourage you to try out the Havening, to just put your hand over your heart if you're here with me right now, and to just say an affirmation. It's safe for me to shine. It's safe for me to receive. It's safe for me to upgrade my life. Whatever really feels nourishing to you. And just feel into that. When you're grounded in your heart energy, when you're not up here overthinking or being rigid or having all of this stimulation come at you, you can calm your nervous system. You can be open to receive those clients who are wanting your magic, who are wanting your brilliance. And so that's truly what I do with my clients, is I help you to calm your nervous system, to release these blocks in the most loving way, because everybody has different blocks, whether it's unworthiness or fear of being seen or control patterns and operating from force. There are so many different things that can show up, and they can be a trauma response to things that have happened in the past. And so I want you to know it's safe. It's safe for you to shine, and it's allowed to be easy for you. So Allow yourself to just really soak in that energy. Try out the havening. I can't wait to see how this works for everybody. And feel free to write any questions in the comments here. I'm going to be checking the comments and responding over the next several days. I am so excited for my retreat, to see everybody that's coming, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. So I will see you then. Bye.